Renji wasn't born a genius or some chosen hero like in most anime. He was just a regular kid in the city of Hoshigawa, a crowded place filled with tall buildings, flickering neon lights, and the sound of trains passing every few minutes. His life was simple: school, helping his mom at her little ramen shop, and occasionally playing basketball with his friends in an old broken court near the river. But Renji, he had this fire in his eyes. He never showed it much, because people laughed at him when he said his dream out loud. And his dream was simple, but heavy. He wanted to become the best basketball player in Japan. Now, if you know anything about his situation, you'd laugh too. He wasn't tall. He wasn't particularly skilled. His school team was terrible. They hadn't even made it past the first round in the regional tournament for years. And Renji himself? He wasn't even a starter. He was just the bench warmer, the kid who only got in when the team was already losing badly. But here's the thing about Renji. He didn't care about where he started. He cared about where he could end up. One day, after another crushing loss in the regional qualifiers, everyone in his team was sitting silent in the locker room. Heads down, shoes scraping the floor. Nobody had the guts to look at the scoreboard again. They had lost by almost 30 points. The captain of the team slammed his locker shut and said, "Why do we even try? We're never going to beat the top schools. This isn't worth it." Most of the players nodded. Some even muttered about quitting. But Renji, he stood up, trembling a bit because his voice wasn't the kind that commanded respect. He said, "We lost because we gave up before the game even started. You all wished to win, but nobody tried to make it happen." The room went silent. Everyone looked at him like he was crazy. He wasn't even a main player, and here he was, lecturing them. One of the seniors scoffed and said, "Easy for you to say. You didn't even touch the ball today." Renji clenched his fists, his nails digging into his palms, but he didn't back down. He repeated, "Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen, even if I'm alone." Nobody replied. They just brushed him off, but those words stuck in the air like sparks. From that day, Renji changed. He stopped waiting for practice time at school. Every morning before sunrise, he went to the old riverside court with a cheap ball that was already peeling. The court had cracks, the hoops were rusty, and the net was torn, but to him it was sacred ground. He practiced dribbling, shooting, footwork, and stamina. He watched videos of pro players on a borrowed phone late at night, copying their moves until his body ached. At first, people mocked him. Kids from the neighborhood would laugh, "Renji, you think you're going to be the next NBA star or something? Look at your height, man." But he ignored them. Because Renji wasn't playing for them. He was playing for himself. Weeks turned into months, and slowly his game started to change. His dribbling got sharper, his shots more consistent. He wasn't the tallest, so he worked on speed, agility, and outsmarting opponents. While others slept, he was running drills under the streetlights. While others partied, he was running suicides on the cracked court until his legs gave out. Then came the next school season. The team was the same. The coach wasn't expecting much, but when Renji stepped on the court during practice, everyone noticed something different. His eyes were sharper. His movements were quicker. The first time he crossed the captain with a clean, ankle-breaking dribble and scored a layup, the whole gym went silent. Nobody had seen Renji play like that before. "Where the hell did that come from?" one teammate muttered. Renji just wiped the sweat from his face and said, "From making it happen." The tournaments arrived. Their school still wasn't the favorite, not even close. They were seeded low, expected to lose early again. But in the very first game, Renji shocked everyone. He wasn't just playing basketball. He was controlling the rhythm of the game. His passes were sharp, his shots clean, and his energy contagious. For the first time, his teammates started believing. They started running harder, defending stronger, following his lead. They won. The second game, they won again. By the third game, the gym was packed. People started whispering about the underdog team with the short point guard who played like he had fire in his veins. Renji's mom, who barely had time to leave the ramen shop, came to see him play. She stood in the corner of the stands, wiping tears when she saw her son running up and down the court, leading his team like a warrior. But of course, every good story has its trial. In the semifinals, they faced the strongest school in the prefecture, a powerhouse team with a player named Daigo, a tall, dominant forward already being scouted by colleges. The game was brutal. Renji's team was outmatched in size and strength. By halftime, they were down by 20 points. Everyone on his team was ready to give up. The captain muttered, "It's over. We can't stop Daigo." Renji stood up in the huddle, sweat dripping, voice shaking but full of fire. "Listen to me. We've come too far to give up now. They're bigger, stronger, yeah, but that doesn't matter. Basketball isn't just about size. It's about heart. Some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen. But right here, right now, we're going to make it happen. Together." The team stared at him. Something in his words lit a spark. The second half started. Renji pushed himself beyond limits. He stole the ball from Daigo twice, landed impossible shots, and kept feeding his teammates with perfect passes. The energy shifted. The crowd roared. With just 10 seconds left, the score was tied. Renji had the ball. Daigo towered over him, blocking every angle. The clock ticked down. 10, 9, 8. Renji dribbled, crossed left, crossed right, but Daigo didn't budge. 5, 4, 3. Renji looked at the hoop, his heart pounding. He wasn't tall enough to shoot over Daigo. But then, he remembered all those nights practicing on the cracked riverside court, imagining impossible shots. He smirked. 2-1. Renji faked a drive, spun, and launched a step-back three-pointer. The ball sailed in slow motion, the crowd holding its breath. Swish. The buzzer went off. They had won. The gym exploded in cheers. His teammates lifted him up, tears streaming down their faces. Even Daigo, the rival, walked over, patted his head and said, "You're the real deal. Keep going." Renji didn't become some instant national star overnight, but from that day, his name spread across every court, every gym, every school in the region. People came to see the boy who proved that heart could defeat giants. Years later, Renji stood on the stage of the national championship, captain of his team, holding the trophy high. The crowd chanted his name. Reporters asked how he made it this far when so many doubted him. Renji smiled and said, "It's simple. Some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Others make it happen. I just chose to make it happen." And in that moment, you realize, Renji's story isn't just about basketball. It's about life. Because we all start somewhere. Some of us just want. Some of us just wish. But the ones who rise, the ones who change their fate, are the ones who make it happen, no matter how impossible it looks. And that's the story of Renji, a kid who wasn't supposed to be special, but became unforgettable.
I hope you like this story. Share this with your friends and family or anyone who would be inspired after watching this. Subscribe if you haven't yet.